All right, guys. Welcome in. And there it is. So I want to do a little bit of live work, kind of concurrent with the big announcement today that if you guys haven't seen it, there's a new video on the channel talking about the Simplified Single Plane Swing system. The Simplified Single Plane Swing is a new system that I've developed that combines ideas of the traditional swing as well as ideas of a single plane swing to really let your body have a more natural golf swing. And by doing what we're doing with the Simplified Single Plane Swing, we're actually able to help guys control their slices, control their hooks, have better contact, really improve their golf game. So I'm really excited that the Simplified Single Plane Swing is out there. So again, if you haven't seen that announcement, when we're done here, go back into my videos. It's the newest video I released this morning. So I wanted to at least show you guys a little bit, get you guys familiar with the system, because we'll talk a lot about it here on the channel moving forward. So if you guys have questions about the system or anything in general, feel free to go ahead and ask away in the chat bar. Put any questions in there. I can see it as we're going and I'm hitting some shots. Going to do this for a little while. I have some meetings set up at the PGA show in about an hour and a half, so we'll probably go for about an hour until that way I have time to go and get ready for the PGA show meetings I have this afternoon. But again, the Simplified Single Plane Swing was the big announcement. So, you know, we're going to be talking about that in here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to fire away. I'm just going to start with some 7-iron work here. But, you know, one of the nice things about the Simplified Single Plane Swing system is really getting yourself closer to a contact position at setup and using your hips a lot more. And by doing so, we're able to help guys that struggle with slices, hooks. Even really good golfers can benefit. I mean, up until I started developing this system, you know, I still struggled as well. But by creating the system, working with this system, you know, and kind of developing different thoughts and feels from different types of swings, I found that I've been able to really improve my game, and that's why I wanted to create the whole video package, video series, and put it out there for everyone. Whew, good way to start.
Swing.
And it's been a busy morning making sure we got everything out there on the website for the Simplified Single Plane Swing system. So kind of been a really busy day. Again, guys, if you have any questions, feel free to fire away. Oh, didn't reset. It's my fault for setting it up that way. Rewind the shot. Let's go to auto rewind. All right, so now we're set. So in terms of the Simplified Single Plane system, one of the questions I'm going to get, and you guys may be asking it, is it a true single plane swing? Well, it's a modified single plane swing. So for some guys, it is not going to be a traditional single plane swing. For some guys, depending on how they swing and what their body does, it will give them a true single plane swing. So, what we're doing with it and how we're teaching the system is, first of all, making sure our lower body is in good position, similar to a traditional swing setup. We want you guys in a nice, good position, athletic position that allows your body to be able to do what it does. And then we talk about inside the program, you can actually increase and get yourself more in line with what your impact is going to be by kind of lifting your hands, getting your arms a little bit straighter, which is some of the ideas from a traditional single plane swing. And then we allow the body to move naturally throughout the swing with a few tips that really help you to straighten out your shots, especially for guys that are slicing it a lot. That's a big problem, but really for anybody. And using this system, I've gone from, having more of a cut shot to more of a draw, which is something I've wanted to build. And really to get into that idea and the draw inside the Simplified Single Plane Swing program. Again, if you haven't seen the announcement video, it is on the channel. But inside the system, it's all on demand on my website, singlelaneschool.com. You can go to plans and pricing. You can see the whole program there, what videos are included. But in the advanced program or the advanced video, at the end of the section is really where we get into a more kind of a professional type swing, where we start talking about dropping it from the inside and producing a draw. But to get there, you have to understand the rest of the concepts up above it. So, videos 1 through 10, and there's just over 2 hours of content, but videos 1 through 10 cover getting used to it, understanding the simplified single plane swing and the setup. And then for those of you that want to move into the advanced, there's another 20-minute advanced video that allows you to really dial it in and really improve that system. So if you guys have questions on the system while we're talking about it and the new swing method, by all means, throw it in the chat bar. I can watch it, answer questions as we go through. A little bit of a closed space there, but nice. All right. Another question I've had already this morning since I've launched the new program and some people showing their interest in signing up is in terms of cost. The program, 11 videos, and really, guys, everything you see in the videos is what I'm teaching my students. It's the difference is when I'm teaching students, they're hitting shots, I'm there with them, whether it's virtually or in person. And those lessons in person or virtually, I've got some special packages, but on average, they run about $75 an hour. You're getting the whole system where you can work at your own pace for $100. So everything I work with my students on for $75 an hour, you're getting in the package for a one-time fee of $100 for the rest of your life. As long as you're wanting to do it, you pay the system, you pay the $100, you have your login, you come and watch videos in and out as you please, depending on what you need to work on. And then there is an option to, there's an option for video submissions where if you want some more feedback, you can sign up for a monthly video submission. You submit it to me, and I send send it over to you. So let's see here. What am I swinging today, Jada? All right, so today, I mean, right now, honestly, I'm just kind of messing around. I've got it's a lob wedge, but because it's single length, I'm just with my system, I'm able to just tell it what iron I want because all my irons are the same. This is the pin hawk because it stays here in the sim room. I don't have to drag it around. I do have my driver and my putter as well, but probably just gonna keep hitting this for a little bit, change some of the numbers, change the iron just to kind of see some of my numbers and keep some of my numbers. But yeah, that's my plan. Just kind of hit some shots today. Talk to you guys. Any questions? Whether it's on the irons or on the new simplified swing, simplified single plane swing that program that I launched this morning. Anything you guys have. Like I said, I'm gonna be here for a little while. Just hitting some shots. I have some meetings, virtual meetings at the PGA show this afternoon. So just trying to get comfortable and hit some shots today. Yeah, the single length is the pin hawk for right now. It's not my gamer. My gamer is the Forge Tech Black is what I game, but yeah, I have them all over the house. Each room's kind of got a club in it. So this room, especially because I have to change the sensor in and out, I just keep this pin hawk in here with the clip on it, so I don't have to go get my gamers. The driver and the putter I do run into the garage and pick up. I have those. I'll hit some of those here in a little bit as well. Well, not so much putts, but driver. Solid swing. All right. Hit some 5-iron, see what our distances are. Again, nice little baby draw with that. And it wasn't that I couldn't hit a draw before, but messing around with all these systems and swing ideas over the last year, it was just kind of a pain. I couldn't get as consistent as I want, but now with the simplified single plane that I developed, everything's a draw, and for me to fade it, I'll hit a fade here for you in a second. It's really simple for me. Let's see, another question. Jorge, what am I using to simulate? All right. Yeah, it's the golf club. This is the original golf club, not 2019, so TGC. And I'm actually using the R Motion, which is a dated technology, but it's kind of gamey, but it at least gives me club path. It doesn't give me any ball information. It just simulates ball information. Still working on trying to iron out a new system for later this year that actually picks up ball flight and stuff for me, but that's all part of my PGA show stuff that I'm working on. But yeah, the golf club and the R Motion, they don't make the R Motion anymore, but it's a $500 device you can still find out there secondhand. All right, so I'm going to try and cut this one. Yep, beautiful. Now let's get back to the stock draw here.
Great contact.
I'm going to hit one more, and then I'm going to switch over to the driver for you guys.
Great.
I want to show you guys,
swing.
you know, the promo video with the Simplified Single Plane Swing. I didn't throw a lot of golf in there because we're going to be talking it as we go. You know, over the next few weeks throughout the year, I'll be mentioning, because I'm going to get asked a lot from new guys coming into the system or into the channel, what swing method I use. But I want to switch over to driver here and show you guys that the nice thing about this Simplified Single Plane Swing I developed is that once you build your swing, it's exactly the same for all your clubs. So it's great for irons, but also you can use the exact same setup, the exact same swing philosophies for your driver and your woods, and still produce very similar results. So
Nice swing.
oh, and I didn't change it off 5-iron, but you can still see when this pops up a nice in-to-out club path. We'll change that up the driver. Jada, are you gonna have Windows PC for the immersion? You're semi-right on that, Jada. Windows PC for the R motion is definite. The computer does have to meet requirements, but because it's the older TGC, it doesn't need as much power as TGC 2019. And the golf club game, you don't necessarily have to buy the full game. With the R motion, you can actually just get the R motion, and their base TGC comes with a driving range and 15 courses. So you don't have to buy the full game, but if you want to upgrade the game to get 100,000 plus courses and a ton of driving ranges, you can do that, which I did when I bought the system, but you don't have to. You can just buy the R motion and have the download information and get all of that. So is that going to go in a hole? No. Still a good drive.
Whoa, yeah, you hit the green and under regulation on this one. You sink this next putt, and now we're cooking.
Yeah, Jada. You don't have to buy the whole TGC system with it. You know, that's one of their selling points is, hey, we've got 100,000 courses on our system. Well, yeah, but there is an upgrade fee for it. It's the same thing they do with the SkyTrack. The guys that built the R Motion have their hands in the SkyTrack as well, and the mobile launch monitor, the Rhapsodo mobile launch monitor. So to buy all those courses, you know, it's going to cost you, but they do send a base package that you can work with if you want, that you don't have to pay for.
Solid swing.
So I know it might be hard for some of you guys to see just because of the webcam, but with the driver here, I am setting up almost identical. The only difference really is how far I am away from the ball, but everything else is exactly the same with the simplified single plane swing system. So it's so simple going from my irons to my driver and my woods. It really makes a difference, and especially because the single length irons that I play now, the system works with all irons. It doesn't have to be single length irons, but the single length irons really makes it easy because now the only thing I change throughout my swings is how far I am away from the ball and ball position. So with the Mac Jada, can't you run boot camp on it and boot up Windows and run the system? I thought I'd seen guys that were able to have some success doing that before too. All right, guys, we're gonna fire out one more driver here, and then go back to some irons. That's a big hook. Yeah. Not a terrible hook, but big one. Got my hands a little quick on it. All right. Change over. Let's go 9-iron here. I hear you on that. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. I used to build my own PCs, but that was about 10 years ago, and I don't do it anymore. So as tech savvy as I used to be, I'm definitely not. Yeah, the high ceilings. So I built this whole edition by hand myself. I shouldn't say by hand. I had power tools, but we didn't have any contractors come in. And when I designed this room, it took my wife probably 3 to 4 months into building and after planning to realize why the ceilings were so high. So as you can tell, we've still got a couch. It still doubles as a room, but you know, and that's one of the reasons I'm not hitting real golf balls is just the way we have the furniture set up. I'm hitting towards the French doors, and the last thing I want to do is go through the French doors. But yeah, I built it's 11 and a half feet high strictly for that reason, so I can swing in here. So again, we just hit driver, and the only thing I'm changing in this system, this new swing system, is how close I am. So it's exactly the same.
Now that was a swing.
Yeah. No real golf balls, Jada. I kind of make sure that I've got a whole bunch of these almost golf balls, and then I've got some Psycor golf balls. They're both pretty similar in what they do, so helps save. Now, I will tell you, I've missed the net a couple times in last week. One of my orange Psycor balls actually hit the same spot twice. There was a little gap in the net I hit twice. Hit the same spot. The second time it actually put a hole in the wall. So, yeah, the ball speed was pretty high for the foam ball to go through. What's up, bud? Okay. Yeah, I got my my son here. The balls upon contact. You know, honestly, I think the almost golf balls are a little bit better feeling. Um, they feel a little bit better and a little bit more realistic off the club than the Psycore. I think the Psycore, it's funny because the Psycore are heavier and actually feel more solid, but when I make contact, that initial impact feels a little bit softer than the almost golf balls. And actually, something I have planned once the weather turns and I can get outside is I actually do have a challenge I'm going to film out on the course where I'm going to play 3 holes with either some Psycore balls or the almost golf balls to see, because they're supposed to go 60% of the distance. I want to see how well I can score using these practice balls. So that's a video to pay attention to coming out. You know, once the weather changes here in Pittsburgh, I can actually get outside and give that one a run. That should be a lot of fun. So again, for some of you guys that are coming in into the live feed, if you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat box. We're talking anything golf related. You know, more specifically, I'm focusing on, if you haven't seen the video I dropped this morning, the big announcement, I released a full on-demand swing system program called the Simplified Single Plane Swing on my website. If you guys want to check out that video, you can go over to my website, check it out, singlelengthschool.com, click on plans and pricing, and you'll actually see another promo video for the Simplified Single Plane Swing. Honestly, before I released it, I made sure I worked with my students on it. And, you know, Mike is one that was fortunate enough and willing to actually go ahead and put his testimonial on video. And Mike, he says in the video, when we started, I do virtual lessons with Mike, even though he's 2 hours away in West Virginia. I do virtual lessons with Mike. He started, he couldn't sniff 100. We did 2 lessons, and no, it's got to be a little bit less. What do you want, a ball? Okay, I'll get you a ball. Where's the orange one? It's under? Okay. So anyways, with Mike, you know, he couldn't, here's a white one. He couldn't sniff 100, and that's nothing against him. He just struggled. But after 2 lessons, he has a SkyTrack, played on the SkyTrack. So after week 2, he goes, plays a course, shoots 1 over. The next week, he shoots like an 82, 83. So we're talking just 2 lessons with the guy with this Simplified Single Plane Swing. He goes from not even being able to sniff 100, and that includes on the simulator. I think prior to his best round on the simulator was the 98, to shooting 1 over, and now he's consistently hitting in the 80s. So the system works. Mike had a big old slice. We've got it down just using the Simplified Single Plane Swing. It went from a slice to about a 5-6 yard cut. That's consistent, it's playable, and he's really working with that. Am I just hitting shots or actually playing a virtual round? No, I'm actually just hitting some shots, just kind of BSing with everybody. I didn't want to dive into a round because I have some meetings at the PGA show here in a little bit. And when I get into a round, I tend to just keep going and going. So I figure this is a good way for me to just kind of hit some shots, talk to you guys a little bit today, and be in a position where I can just log out for the PGA show, you know, in about an hour or so. Yeah, bud. Probably just some dirt. Did you get it out of your foot? Where? It is. It's part of your toe. Yeah, bud. Okay. Um, Mark, the main thing doing is higher hands at address. Um, for the simplified single plane swing, that's part of it. But it's not. That's not the full setup. There's other pieces in it aside from keeping your hands higher at setup that kind of go into it. Um, Honestly, what the whole system is designed to do is to let your body give your body a natural swing and give it its best chance to really do and move the way it should. Some of the other single plane systems out there want you to move your hips and kind of straighten your knees a little bit. And even if you watch Bryson swing, I'll do a comparison here down the line, but even Bryson is, pretty stiff. And I think a lot of guys are not necessarily scared, but it can cause potential injuries. I've tried the other systems last year, and that was one of my concerns is that I put a lot of stress on my body. So simplified single plane swing is more than just raising your hands, but we are taking ideas from those single plane things, such as raising your hands and complementing them with certain ways of setting up your body so that your body is in a more natural swing. And by doing that, you're able to see better results, strike the ball better, and have consistent ball flights, whether it is a cut or whether it is a draw. It doesn't matter. The idea is to simplify your swing so that it's consistent. You can find a fairway, you can find the green, and I'm not talking, a consistent 30-yard slice. We're able to get it down using the system. A lot of guys are able to get it down within 5 yards or so to a nice little fade. So that's the whole system. Like I said, there's a lot of pieces to it. I would recommend checking it out. If you're interested in it, you can check out the promo videos, watch some of the stuff here as we move forward with it. But I priced it at $100 for life for the system, for the simple fact that I want to help as many guys as possible. And by doing monthly payments, guys tend to drop out. Those other programs cost you $50, $60 a month. Guys will drop out. They won't follow through. If you want to buy a yearly pass, it's like $300. And to me, that's not helping golfers. It's just kind of trying to line your pockets. And that's nothing against those guys because they've worked a long time with their systems. But, to really help as many golfers as possible, I told my wife, I said, I'm $100 one-time payment. They come in and go as they please. And then if you have questions or need tips, tricks, anything like that, my contacts are always open. Let's see. Jada, keep on rest each other. Yeah, Jada, I'm with you. Outside is my preference. If I can get a 45-degree and sunny day with no snow, I'm outside. It just, this time of year doesn't happen in Pennsylvania. So, yeah, I kind of have this room, this setup, just as a way of keeping unrusty. And for Mark, if you want to learn more, you can go check out the website, singleplaneschool.com. That's my website. Go to plans and pricing, and it'll actually show you what all videos I have in that program. Yeah, Jada, at least 40. Yep, same way. The only time I will say I honestly will go under 40 is, and I've done it a couple times, we have a scramble at my club. It's called the Irish Open. And this year we moved it back a little bit, and it's but we've played in the snow in the Irish Open. So usually bundled up, a good bit of alcohol to stay warm. And scores I don't even really care about, and scrambles. What's up, Mike? Lakeview this weekend. You're heading out, huh? Guys, Mike just jumped in the chat. He's the one you guys saw in the promo video about the Simplified Single Plane Swing. Like I said, he's about 2 hours south down in West Virginia. Once the weather turns and I'm comfortable, we're going to get Mike on video. We're going to meet up and kind of show you guys some updates on Mike as well. If it doesn't rain too much, yeah, it can rain a lot. Jada, yeah, Jack. I'm not a Jack guy. I'm actually just kind of a straight beer guy. Whiskey and liquor is not my favorite thing, so I kind of tend to avoid it. Hey, Mike, how's the injury? How are you feeling, buddy? Guys, with Mike, we got through 2 weeks, and then Mike suffered an injury. He was over swinging a little bit, so we had to put last week off, but hopefully this week we're back on track. Jada, yeah, drinking eye fatigue. I don't tend to drink if I'm kind of in a serious round, but you know, scrambles and stuff, I'll drink. I'll have a couple after the round, but like golf league, I won't drink until after the round. I might have, you know, a couple after the round, but not during the round, unless it's, you know, there's some guys that really like to have some fun, and so if I'm paired with those guys, I will. Nice, Mike. Yeah, when you're injured, sometimes it's nice to kind of take your hand or your mind away from it. But yeah, we'll connect later today or tomorrow, and we'll get something set up. That's not a problem. Mike, I was telling some of these guys about kind of where you were before we started the Simplified Single Plane Swing with you. You know, kind of, and then I told them what you've done on the sim since. But, you know, I know trouble was, or, you know, your best round was around 100 or something. What was your exact best round, Mike, prior to us starting to work together? Jada, yeah. Same thing. You know, sometimes I have guys that I play with that will try to influence me just so they can beat me. Yeah, Mike, 97. That's what I thought. I knew you had broken 100 once or twice before. So, but now you can say your best is a 1 over on the Skytrack. And even on top of that, you had the 80 last week. Yeah. So, guys that are on the East Coast, Mike's just outside of Morgantown, West Virginia, and plays a course called Lakeview, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours from Pittsburgh here. I've had the chance to play it a couple times as well. 7,500 yards is about right on the course. It's a long course. They used to have what they call the West Virginia Open. It used to be on tour, was played there a few times, and now it was the go-to course until Greenbrier opened up. But, you know, the Greenbrier it's probably better suited for the pros. But Lakeview, if you guys are on the East Coast and get a chance, can make it to West Virginia. Lakeview has a resort. They have a hotel. They have one course on site, which is the Lakeview course. Another about 4 or 5 miles up the road called Mountain View, which is a lot tougher. But Lakeview is one of the prettier courses I've played, and it's tough. It is tough. The best is, I don't know if they still have it, Mike. You've been there more than me, but the first time I was there in the bar, they actually have some plaques of the course records, both 59, I believe, by Jack and Payne Stewart have the course record there. So it's pretty cool. The first tee shot's actually really intimidating, especially when you consider there's no range. And when you line up, it's usually busy. So there's guys right behind you. Last time I played it, I think we had about 6 groups behind us waiting. And there's a pond in front of you. And my butt clenched up. I struggled. I hit my first 2 tee shots straight down into the water. And everybody's starting to giggle. And so I'm hitting 4 or 5 off the tee, and I drive the green, and the guys kind of shut up after that. I don't know. I'll have to check the schedule, buddy. I don't know. We'll have to see next time. Yeah, and the Slice puts it in the parking lot. You're exactly right, Mike. But it's a nice course. It's fun. 87 in the sim after the first session. Yeah. So immediately you drop 10 strokes just off the first stroke or off the first lesson. Yeah, Jada, it tightened up. It definitely does. But it's fun. Yes, Mike. The 18th. The 18th is probably the most unique finishing hole I've played. It's either Lakeview and probably the Island course at Innisbrook are the 2 18s that are really unique that I've played. At Lakeview, it's this long par 5. It's 600 yards, maybe even a little bit longer than that. Dog legs to the left. You got to be like 275 for that dog leg, so it's really not even a 2-stroker. But as you go up the fairway after the dog leg, the bar has a huge patio that sits up above the driveway. So behind the green, you've got the driveway and the patio where all the guys sit and drink and watch you come up. So not only on the first tee does your sphincter get tight, but also as you're coming up 18, you're like, oh man, you look up and there's 40 guys on the patio drinking, watching every single shot once you round the bend.
Solid swing.
Now, like I said, I like the 18th at Lakeview. The 18th at the Island course at Innisbrook. If you guys ever get down just outside of Tampa there, my best friend lives about a mile from Innisbrook. You guys probably know it for the Copperhead course on tour, but the resort has 4 courses, Copperhead and the Island being the 2 main ones. The Island course, they've had senior events and women's tour events on, not recently, but they have had them. It's a par 4 with a dog leg to the left, with a big lake and a pond that run right in front of the green, and the whole green's front to back, so everything runs right back towards the lake. Gators in the lake, and it was funny because a couple years ago, they were doing tips from the pros before the Copperhead event, before the Valspar, and they had Tony Finau out, and they played 18 on the Island course, and it was after I had played it. And I'm laughing because, I still have all those shots in my head. And he played the 18th, and I drained like a 40-footer for birdie when I played it there. And he had the exact same putt I did and missed it by like 8 feet. And I'm sitting here with my wife, and I'm like, yeah, see, I can do that. I can play better than the pros. And she's like, yeah, the problem is you're not on tour, so it doesn't count. So fun. But yeah, there's some really nice courses that I've had the chance to play.
Now that was a swing.
And I'm actually really excited now. All right, we'll see you, Jada. I'll be cutting out here shortly in a little bit, too, to head over to my meetings. Stay on the lookout. But, yeah, I'm looking forward to playing some more courses now that the Simplified Single Plane Swing's, you know, in the bag. I feel a lot more comfortable, a lot more confident. Expecting to get to Myrtle Beach this year at some point. Maybe the Outer Banks, some courses in North Carolina. Hoping I can get to Florida and get down there and get back on Innisbrook. Try and get on Cockrad this time. That's my goal. I want to try and get to 2 or 3 like relevant tour courses this year. If my connections work out, it's one of the hardest tickets to get, but if I can get my connections worked out here, I hope to be able to secure a round on Oakmont this year. From my house to Oakmont is 15 minutes or so. So it's not very far at all. That's my plan to get on Oakmont this year. It's like I know a guy who knows a guy who knows a member. So, you know, been working on that. Also going to try and get to Lake Trobe this year. That's one I really want to get to. Just because of the history. You know, Lake Trobe, Arnold's home course where he grew up. His dad was the the pro, the groundskeeper. So Lake Trobe's only 20 minutes for me. So I've got some courses on the 2021 bucket list I want to hit up. We're going to try and make it happen. See what we can do. A lot of it also depends on where we are with COVID and everything.
Contact.
Nemacolin Resort's not far for me. They used to have the '84 Lumber Classic. John Daly's a good buddy of the owner down there. He was actually up here, I want to say in November. He was up here right before his cancer diagnosis. He was at the resort. They had posted some pictures. He was up there with little JD. So that's one I want to get to as well. There's some hidden gems here in the Pittsburgh area I'm going to try and get to. But, you know, one of the things I'd like to do is hopefully you know, we kind of get the simplified single plane system up and running and some more guys with it. Hopefully kind of make some regional stops with guys that want to learn the system or need some advanced lessons. So that's something I want to do with it as well. All right, I'm going to hit one more 6-iron here, and then I'm going to pull the driver back out. So if you guys missed it earlier, kind of came in late, whatever, we were talking about the simplified single plane swing, how it actually really simplifies everything. Mike will attest to it. The nice thing with this system when I developed it is, you know, playing around, we were able to figure out in the system that I can use the exact same setup with the driver. So the only thing that changes is my ball position and how far I am from the ball. Everything else stays exactly the same. So my setup, my swing, everything stays the same, and I'm able to hit the exact same shots that I hit with my irons. Like I said, the only difference is it's a longer club, and I'm a little bit further back. But Mike, you were so afraid to hit driver, because you had no idea where it was going except right. Oh, you think I'm 50 years old? Wow. But Mike wouldn't even pull his driver out of the bag. What was it? 2 lessons in, Mike, and you bought a new driver because you were hitting the other one so well, but it was 10 years old. You were losing distance. The simplified single plane swing can really help that driver as well. Like I said, the only difference is I stand a little bit further from the ball in my ball position, but in terms of setup, everything else is the same. And then I can still hit that nice draw. Or in some cases, as I said, with the simplified setup, some guys you're able to, and in Mike's case, we're able to take a slice and turn it into a 5-yard cut. And the nice thing is we're not changing anything about your swing. You're still going to swing your natural swing. What you first tried and what's comfortable is that swing you're going to use. But with the setup and how we teach the simplified single plane swing, we're able to dial it in and dial it back so that now Mike used to be 40, 50 yards right with his driver. Now he starts it 5, 10 yards left of center line and drops it right on the center. So, Mike's got a beautiful baby cut now. And again, it's the same setup. It's just a little bit further from the ball. It's the same swing. Everything's the same. So we're making the game easier. And here's the other nice thing is, as you get into the system, you get more comfortable and get into some of the advanced protocols that I teach you in the advanced video. You're able to start working the ball more the way you want to. So in this case, I'm going to set up exactly the same, but the difference is I'm going to fade this ball. So I'm going to make a couple tweaks, and I cover this all in the system in the online on-demand videos. But we're going to make a couple tweaks, and I should be able to cut this ball, move it to the right instead of right to left, go left to right. Yep. I got into the trees there, but I think that proves my point. I'm able to actually go left to right and switch it. So I can move the ball on demand with the system. So the simplified single plane teaches you guys a stock shot, gets you guys comfortable with a stock shot, and then we do show you how to go about and be able to move it to a fade if you want to, or to a draw if you want to. It's all built into the system. 11 videos. SingleLinkSchool.com. Just click on plans and pricing. You can go in there and see what the videos are. Yeah. So that's a better example of the fade. And now we'll go back to the stock, which should be back to a draw here. There it is. And the best part is, guys, I'm able to hit those two different shots with two small tweaks. So you can really enhance your game. Like I said, the draw is now my stock shot. So I'm stocking a draw. In Mike's case, Mike's stocking a little cut. But if Mike wants to draw it, you know, it's two small adjustments in his setup, and he hits a draw. So, or Mike will tell you this too, part of the training is with your hips. You mess up in your hips, and you're going to hit the ball the opposite of the way you want to. But, you know, once you're comfortable with the setup and the swing, you build your stock shot, it's not hard to really move the ball different directions.
Solid swing.
We're going to hit one more driver here. And I'm going to show you guys one other thing. Probably not going to be as easy to pick up with the R motion here, but we can also easily change our ball flight, our height on the ball. So I'm going to try and drop this one a little bit lower. We'll see if it works or not.
Nice.
Yeah, a little bit lower on that one. Not as much of a draw because we played it back to play it lower, but the trajectory was a lot lower on that ball flight. And again, it's all setup based. Everything with this system's all based around the setup. So all I did was make a quick tweak. So if I want the ball lower or higher, it's a quick tweak. If I want the ball to go from left to right, it's a tweak. If I go right to left, it's a tweak. And it's all in the setup. It's not actually with my swing. It's all in the setup. So once you guys build that stock shot and get comfortable, then if you want to fly it lower, it's real quick. And it's all something you can do on the fly out on the course. It's not really anything you have to train. Like, a lot of guys get afraid that you have to learn to hit a draw or a fade, or you have to learn to fly the ball higher or lower. In our system, it's tweaked to your setup. Once you have your stock shot, we simply tweak a couple things to help you hit a fade, a draw, hit it higher, hit it lower. So in this case, I'm back to 7-iron here. We're going to try and hit a nice high 7-iron. And it was so high, it didn't even register. Let's see if we can get it to register here.
Great contact.
Nice
swing.
and high. And that should be about 160. Yeah. So higher ball flight. Typically my 7-iron's about 180. I flew that one higher so I could bring it and stop it shorter. I dropped 5 yards off of it with one tweak. I was able to hit it higher and stop it faster with one tweak. Same thing with the irons. We'll see if this registers here. But we're going to try and get a little low, not quite a stinger, but a little bit lower out there.
Now that was a swing.
Yeah, that's a lower ball flight. And then we can just go right back to our stock shot. And again, guys, it's just little tweaks that are allowing me tweaks within my setup that allow me to go higher, lower, left, right. There you go. There's my stock, about 180. So that one's 183. A little bit of a draw on it. That's the stock shot I play. So, again, it's all within the setup and all of that. You know, like I said, you can teach. We can do it virtually, but I think, you know, for a lot of guys, especially financially with COVID, I think having the on-demand system out there is probably a great option for most guys looking to improve their golf game. The on-demand options, $100, access to videos as much or as little as you want, when you want, for the rest of your life. As long as you golf, you can access that stuff. The lessons themselves, I mean, if you want to do virtual lessons, or if you're close to Pittsburgh, you want to do in-person, we can do that as well. But just understand that in-person lessons or virtual lessons cost you more than what the on-demand does. So, you know, if you guys want to start learning and understanding the Simplified Single Plane system, by all means, I'm here to help. If you guys want to do it virtually, we can do it. Or if you guys want to do the on-demand and go at your own pace, you can do it that way as well. You know, Mike's one of the virtual students, but, you know, I'm pretty sure that at the same token, Mike would be easy and be able to go into the system and see the exact same things that we work on right within the system. So it's all there for you guys. So I'm going to hit 2, 3 more here. If you guys have any other questions, post them now. Because at 1 o'clock Eastern time, I'm going to drop off to get ready. Like I said, I have some PGA show meetings here, virtual meetings with some companies starting at 1:30. So I'm going to log off and start to get ready for that. So any final questions, guys, feel free to fire them away in there. I know that was a misread. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up with 2 more here. Again, if you guys want to check out the new swing system I released this morning, go into the YouTube page. You can see the video I launched, and then there's a link in that video that takes you over to the system. There's also, you can just go over to singlelengthschool.com and check out the system in there as well. Go to plans and pricing.
Great contact.
All right, we're going to fire out 1 more here, and we're going to wrap it up. So thanks for checking in, guys. I appreciate it. Again, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out the Simplified Single Plane system that we have. Again, it's on demand. You can go watch the videos whenever you want on my website, singlelengthschool.com. You can sign up for it there. $100 US, unlimited access for life. And that's going to do it.
Solid swing.
So, hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch you guys later. I'm going to have some videos from the PGA show coming this week as I learn different things. And until then, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching, everybody.